This is just really an outward expression of the work that I've been doing for pretty much my entire teaching career, the past 5 years.
33-year-old Crystal Seawood is a teacher in Washington, D.C.
The march is going to start around 6 o'clock from Malcolm X Park. Malcolm X Park, and then walking to the White House. My main goal is really simple in the classroom, is for students to be critically conscious of themselves and then critically conscious of the world around them. I'm excited. I'm excited to be on the ground. Students don't just respect you because you know a lot of things. They respect people who also do the work, who show up, who use their voices. Marginalized voices have been left out of the bigger picture, and the bigger picture has been, I guess, painted, if you will, with a particular lens. And that lens has been whiteness.
Will never be justice for the lives that were lost without reason. If we want justice, we need to see change.
We need equity, and it is your voice that's going to make it happen, because people listen to people who look like you.
Thank y'all for coming. Hey, sweetie, how are you? Hey, Jonathan. Now, come on, let's get it live.
Two of Crystal's former students also come to join the protest.
I made it.
Thank you for coming. You're such a man now, look at you.
Yeah.
So really, they've had like sessions of like people walking to the White House all day.
Wow.
Yeah. I think this is like the 6th protest or 5th.
She provided a very dominant energy in the classroom to everyone. Like, everyone can feel it as soon as you come in the classroom. And that really stuck with me, to make me think about what I really wanted to be as a person, and made me think and grow about how I'm going to utilize my voice so that I can be a part of the bigger change.
George Floyd! George Floyd!
Justice!
No peace!
No justice!
No peace!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter!
Black lives matter! There is optimism by the way that the country is just responding, the way that mass numbers of white people are responding. And I don't think I could put my finger on why this time are people responding in like mass. And all these people out here, and there's zero conflict. It just gives it gives a sense of hope that people can work together. No peace. No peace. Yeah. My question would be like, where would these people be when Black Lives Matter is no longer trending, or is it not currently popular to be out here protesting?
Yeah. What does the world look like that accepts you and receives you and affirms that you are welcome and loved? What does that world look like?
No one is born racist. We grow up seeing things in the media and from our parents that makes us think that, oh, this is wrong, oh, this is right. But at the end of the day, no one is naturally racist, you know what I mean? So that world looks like something far from where we're from, you know, like, I don't know if it'll be interesting in what the next like 2 years, 3 or 4 years look like from now, but that world looks beautiful. Honestly, that world looks like a world I want to live in.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you, Miss Seawood. It's always a pleasure.
Love y'all.
I hope you can make it through next weekend. You say Black Lives Matter.
Black Lives
Matter.
Thank you. That's like it should be.
It's this kind of world high school teacher Jean Moussereau hopes his students will one day see. He teaches in the Bronx borough of New York City, where African Americans make up more than 40% of the population.
My students are Black and Latino. I came into education wanting to teach students not only about police brutality and systemic oppression, but also to teach students just how to empower themselves. I think when students are taught that their ancestors were only victims, it can limit how you view yourself and just how you view like the trajectory of your own life. When I was in high school, talking about systemic oppression and like institutionalized racism wasn't really a conversation. We only covered like the civil rights movement. We talked about slavery briefly, but we didn't really get into detail. So as an educator, I try to fulfill that role in providing my students like an accurate account of their history, because Black history is a lot deeper than slavery and a lot more extensive than slavery.
Jean is also a photojournalist whose work explores the realities of being Black in America.
Housing projects are government-funded buildings and living spaces where, you know, majority Black folks and Latino folks are crowded into. Projects have like negative connotations that come with them, and people view them negatively. So I wanted to capture like the beauty of it before it was knocked down and gentrified. I used to teach in Newark, and a lot of the schools there aren't really maintained well. They lack a lot of resources. So this, I felt like, was symbolic of that. It's a basketball hoop in an abandoned school. Well, I found the symbolism in that, just being in like an abandoned place, and you know, it's almost like symbolizes like an abandoned dream in a sense. I've been talking to my kids about Black Lives Matter long before the protests. That's actually like a part of my curriculum, is to teach them about systemic oppression, from police brutality to a lot of other ways, a lot of other institutionalized forms of oppression. Mass incarceration to racism within the educational system, racism within the corporate structure, even healthcare inequity. I've had students come to me and talk about their experiences with racism and police brutality long before this moment. I think because of cameras and because these murders are filmed, this is a national conversation, but this has been the experience of a lot of Black and brown folks for years.
The ongoing nationwide demonstrations against police brutality in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic reveal a cause more enduring than some had predicted. They represent changing views on the issue of race in the U.S.
I came out to the protest basically to show support for the movement, just to show solidarity. You know, I think this one is a little bit more relaxed from what we've been seeing and hearing.
No justice, no peace. No racist, no peace. No justice, no peace. No racist, no peace. No justice, no peace. No racist, no peace. Come on.
Yeah, I've experienced police brutality myself. You know, I've come across a couple situations where I've had to deal with corrupt cops. So, you know, I've been familiarized with this issue before it became a national or international conversation. I've been pulled over by cops, I guess mistaken identity, but I was harassed, illegally searched, threatened. I've had, you know, cops pull guns on me.
NYPD, defunding time vets. NYPD, defunding time vets. NYPD. Defund the police, give that money to community, till Black people free. Come on. Yes. Defund the police, give that money to community, till Black.
When you experience police brutality, it's hard to process at first. I mean, you have moments where it's hard to even believe that it's real. But, you know, again, it's like a reality check. You know, when you experience it firsthand, it kind of just wakes you up to that reality, and you have to learn how to cope with that and how to survive with that being a reality and a possibility.
As consensus grows about the existence of systemic racism in American policing, activists sense a once-in-a-generation opportunity to demand policy changes that at one time seemed far-fetched. After months of spontaneous protests, this could prove to be the next generation's catalyst for change.
These police